Okay. Oh, hello.
Good
Can you
morning,
hear me?
Rinpoche. Good morning,
Good
Rinpoche.
morning. Good morning. I'm sorry, I just recited the prayer without the mic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so last week, we studied on the purification process of according to based on the Vajrasattva. So basically, we transformed ourselves. Remember, like the week before, we actually visualized the Vajrasattva in front of us on our head, and then the trickling of the nectar showering, that was practiced. Then last week, the Vajrasattva is not just on our head, but we actually transform ourselves into the Vajrasattva, right? Yeah, and as we transform into Vajrasattva, because Vajrasattva is the embodiment of purification, so all our negativities, all the impurities within us has been cleansed, and we become, even though our body appears like that of a Vajrasattva, but it's at the same time, it's also not like a flesh and bone kind of body, but translucent, transparent kind of body. And then no impurities remain. All the impurities has been cleansed out. Then all the negativities impurities were cleansed out, goes to the ground under you, and it's actually consumed by the god of death, or the death as we call him, who is the representation of all your negative, whether you call it enemies or people who harm you or whatever, and whatever debts that you owe them has been cleared. Yeah, and then we familiarized ourselves on the 4 points. Usually there's 5 points, but today we talk about the 4 points. The 4 points being the navel, the heart, the throat, and the head. So when it flow from your crown, from your head, this is you're receiving the 4 empowerments, which is out of the 4 empowerments, you're receiving the vast empowerment, and then something called the will. So there are 4 wills at the 4 points. So the will of great bliss was initiated, and you receive the empowerment of the vast. And on your On your throat is the wheel of enjoyment. As it trickle down to the throat, the wheel of enjoyment is initiated, and then you receive the secret empowerment. When the nectar comes to the heart, the Dharma chakra or the Dharma wheel is initiated, and you receive the wisdom empowerment. And when it reaches to your navel, the wheel of manifestation is initiated, and then you receive the word empowerment of the word. Yeah. And that actually purifies the four kinds of obscurations. So obscuring the true nature of the true nature. So the four obscuration, the obscurations of karmic obscuration, negative emotion, then conceptual obscuration and habitual obscurations, the four obscurations. Yeah. And at the same time, from your head, from your crown to the navel, at each point, you receive the four joys: the supreme joy, the extraordinary joy, the innate joy. Yeah, the joy, supreme joy, extraordinary joy, and innate joy. Yeah, and basically, then you receive at the same time you receive you attain the four enlightened bodies of the Buddha. Yeah, so that's the summarization of what we covered last week. So I just when we just did a review session, that just reviewed the main points. Yeah. So the main reason for that is because Tantra is, Buddhist practice, Buddhism in general, Buddha Dharma is general, is about transformation, right? And then the tantric practice, Tantra, actually deals with advanced transformation practice. So instead of going through the mental training for ages and ages with the tantric practices, you can actually advance, you can actually expedite your transformation, both of the body and the mind, and then to transformation of the mind and transmutation or transmuting. Basically, it means to cleanse the negativity, yeah, in a much swifter way, more speedier, faster. Yeah. So, so what we do in Tantra is we transform, because we transform ourselves. But the Dharma practice in general is about transformation, right? So when we transform ourselves from this state, ordinary state, to the enlightened state. So when we become enlightened Buddha, we have an enlightened body, an enlightened mind, enlightened activities, and an enlightened environment. So four: mind, body, activity, and space or environment, right? So four types of transformations happen. So those four transformations take place only with a cause, right? So in Buddha Dharma, yes, law of causality, karma. Cause and effect. It's the key thing. So all these four transformation needs the causes, and so for you to have a enlightened body, enlightened mind, enlightened activity, and enlightened environment, you need to create those four result, or those four transformation and result from now. And so that's why we do this practice. Yeah. So we train ourselves in those four things, and then that becomes that creates the end result. That creates the environment for the result to come, right? So by having the compassion and the wisdom, by practicing on the compassion or wisdom, we have this is the cause, this is the seed for the enlightened mind. Then the chanting, the recitation of the mantras and all this transforms into the unparalleled speech of the Buddha, so which can actually enlighten a lot of people by giving Dharma teachings, right? So that speech is the cause for that speech is the recitation of the mantra, like that. And then by and engaging in. So when we, for example, when we did the Vajrasattva practice, or in general any visualization in the tantric practice, we become first we visualize the Buddha in front of us, then we become the Buddha ourselves, and then as a Buddha we help countless sentient beings and lift them up. So this is a visualization we do in a short form, and that actually becomes the cause for us as a Buddha in the future to help countless sentient beings like that. And then we visualize the mandala in the present state. In the ordinary state, we visualize the mandala. So the mandala, by looking at a picture of a mandala or whatever, we visualize the mandala like that. That actually brings the cause. That is the cause, the seed for having the environment, the enlightened environment of a Buddha in the future. Yeah. Now we come back to what we left off last week. Okay, so the page number is 271 in English. So we start from the first paragraph itself. So the Vajrasattva on top of your head is dissolved into you, and you become the Vajrasattva himself. And now you are visualizing, imagining yourself as the Vajrasattva. Now you're in that state. So now from for this purpose, now when I say Vajrasattva, don't think of someone else. Think of yourself. You are Vajrasattva. Okay? Yeah. So visualize in the heart of the Vajrasattva. Heart means usually around the chest in this context. So and the chest of Vajrasattva, which means your chest, visualize the letter blue Hung sitting on a lotus, white lotus. So white lotus, and then on the white lotus there's the white moon disk. The size of the disk is the size of a mustard seed. So last time I shared one picture. So that is the picture of like that. Okay. So yeah, you have that picture. I think I showed it a couple times last week and the week before that. So there is a okay. So mainly at your heart or the Vajrasattva's heart, same. Okay. So at your heart, visualize a blue home standing. At your chest, at your chest.
Yeah.
Whenever it says heart in the tantric, the scriptures, it's not at the heart side, like on the left side. Actually, it's at the chest side. Okay, but the same level as the heart, but around in the spacing would be around where your chest would be. Okay, center of your chest. Yeah. So if the I don't know what to call that thing. If you can you share the picture? Yeah, I think, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So that picture we shared last week. So you can take a look at the picture. The second picture. So that is the Hum Om Vajrasattva, like that, right? So that picture, okay? Om Vajrasattva Hum. So it's in Tibetan as well as in English. So basically, so it's not standing on the wall like that. Okay, it's visualize like all these four letters are standing up at your chest. So the Hung is in the center, and then Om Vajrasattva is circling that Hung like that. So for example, visualize like this. So the Hung is at the center, and then Om is in the front. Then on the left side would be the Vajra, then Sattva, and so then Sa, and then Twa, Sattva. So it's like this. Hung is at the center, and then it's all standing like this, okay, at your chest, standing up like that.
Yeah.
Not like this, but standing up, upright. Yeah. So in the Hung, the color of the Hung is blue. In front of the blue Hung, there is a white Om. So it's to its left, which is your left also. So because it's you are Vajrasattva, so it's your left also. Okay. So on your left there is a yellow Vajra. So behind the Hung, or behind yourself, there is the red Sa. To the left, to the right of Hung, or to your right, to the right of the Hung, or to your right, same. There is the green Tua. Okay, so Hung at the center, Om in the front, Vajra on the left, Sa on the back, and Tua on the right. Okay, in this, so visualize like that, Om Vajrasattva Hung, and then the five colors of the letter, the syllable itself, the blue, the white, the yellow, the red, and the green also shines very bright upwards to the sky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So at the same time, you are reciting the mantra, the short mantra of Vajrasattva, which is the long mantra is 100 syllable. The short mantra is 5 syllable. Om Vajrasattva Hum, Om Vajrasattva Hum, Vajrasattva Hum. At the same time, the 5 colors are shining upwards to the sky. At the same time, at the tip of the light, the tip of the light that's emanating from the 5 color, the 5 rays of light, there is something called the Lady of Beauty. So basically, these are the offering goddesses. So what they are more like a steward, like a waitress. So they bring the offering to the Buddhas. Yeah. So these Lady of Beauty, or with the waitresses, the staff. So they bring innumerable offerings, countless offerings. So basically the best of the best from this world. They bring to the Buddha field, makes offering to the Buddhas, the deities, the Daka Dakinis, and the Bodhisattva, etc. So what kind of offering they made, I will read it out, and if you want to know more, we can answer that in the Q&A. Okay. So they make the offerings of the 8 auspicious signs, the 7 royal attributes, fringed parasols, victory banners, canopies, 1,000 spoke golden wheels, white conch shells spiraling to the right, and so on and so forth. So basically, these are the best of the best offerings that you can make in this world. Yeah. Are delighted, and thus they shower you with their blessings, right? They shower you with their blessing, and all your negativities are purified. You complete the true accumulation, the accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. All these are completed, accomplished. Sorry, all the two accumulations are accomplished, and then you attain both the supreme and the common attainments. And then the 4 types of Vidyadhara, or basically the 4 kinds of innate wisdoms were gained, and then you reach the ultimate result, the state of beyond learning. Basically, that means the Buddhahood. Yeah. Yeah. Then so as you keep practicing, and then now you shift your practice. Okay, you shift. So you are in the same state of Vajrasattva and everything. Now, instead of the 5 colors, the 5 rays of the 5 syllables, instead of shining upwards, now they are shining downwards. They're shining downwards to to the 6 realms, the hell realm, the human realm, etc. So they shine to the 6 realms. They touch every sentient beings, especially those who are suffering tremendously, and then they liberate those beings of whatever pain they are going through, whether it's loneliness, whether it's frugality, whether it is suffering of the mind or the body, of the health, of the spiritual, whatever darkness that they are going through, that has been cleansed, that has been rectified, that has been purified by the 5 colors of rays shining downward from your heart, from the 5 syllable to the 6 to the sentient beings of the 6 realms, and then all of them gets relief, and the whole universe now, instead of the 6 realms being the realm of hell realm or the human realm, instead of remaining like a ordinary realm, now they all become the the realm known as the manifest joy. It's a Buddha field. It's a let's say it's a pure land. It's actually a pure land. The pure land named manifest of joy. So all the universe is turned into that. So then the whole universe becomes the Buddha field, the pure land named manifest of joy, manifest joy, and then all the beings, all the sentient beings, all the sentient beings in the six realms turned into Vajrasattva. Okay, Vajrasattva, the colors of white Vajrasattva, red Vajrasattva, yellow Vajrasattva, blue Vajrasattva, green Vajrasattva, etc. Like that. All the beings turn into Vajrasattva of different colors.
Yeah.
And then they are also at the same time those beings, those sentient beings. Now they have turned into Vajrasattva. You're also Vajrasattva. They're also Vajrasattva, and then you are all the humming the mantra of Vajrasattva, which is Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva. So you are reciting it. All the sentient beings are reciting it. So basically, there is a humming, like there's a humming of the Vajrasattva mantra, the whole universe, like that. And so basically, you give relief to all the sentient beings through this process. Yeah. Now I will introduce something, a term that is quite important. So there's something called the true benefits. Okay. So maybe in the future when you study more, you will hear about this a lot. So the true benefits. So these are known as the benefit for the self, myself, and benefit for the others. True benefits. Okay. So the first practice, which we visualize the light going upwards and making offering to the Buddha, that actually completes the first benefit, the benefit for the self. You become a Buddha. And then the second one, when the light the rays go downwards and touches all the sentient beings and liberates them, alleviates their suffering, that is actually the second benefit, the benefit for others. So this is called that is known as the two benefits. So basically, the two benefits were completed through this process. Now that actually covers a very important topic of the four enlightened bodies of the Buddha. So when you can actually conclude the four into two bodies. Okay, so sometimes we can say 5 bodies, 4 bodies, 2 bodies. So actually the 4 as part of the 2. The 2 bodies are the Dharma body, Dharmakaya, and the truth body or Dharma body, the truth body, and then truth body or the Dharmakaya, or the Rupakaya or the form body. So becoming benefiting yourself or becoming a Buddha yourself, becoming enlightening yourself, that actually makes the connection for one to become Buddha and attain the Dharmakaya, the truth body in the future. Then by alleviating the suffering of others, you actually make that connection when you enlightened, when you become Buddha, to attain the Rupakaya or the form body. So the truth body is the truth itself. You realize the truth. So once you realize the truth, then you can emanate in many different forms to help many different sentient beings. Yeah. So the Rupakaya is the form body. So it can come in different forms, different shapes, in the form of a human being, in the form of centipedes, in the form of inanimate body like a tree, etc., to help countless sentient beings. Once you know the truth, then you can do anything with it, right? So it's like, just one example is like, when we were a kid, when we were young, when we first we have to learn how to write how to write the script, or let's say a painting. First, you have to follow the structure, how to draw the painting, right? Once you know that, once you become a master, once you have learned the basic of the drawing, then you can draw anything. So the truth body is like the basic of the drawing, right? So first you have to learn the first step, how to draw something. Let's say how to draw a human being. So you have to know all the basics first. If you don't follow the structure first, then you will not be able to draw well in the future. So once you are able to draw, once you understand the basic of drawing a human being, then you can draw anything. You can draw a female, a girl, a boy, a woman, a grandmother, anything you can draw. So learning the basic of drawing, how to draw a human being, that is like the Dharmakaya. Then drawing any other forms, right? A girl, a dog, a tree. So that is the Rupakaya. So basically, by making the offerings upwards, you learn the truth, you learn the basics, you learn the basic skills, and then when you the rays are um, directed downwards, that actually manifests in way many different forms. So that's innumerable. So whatever the situation, whatever the occasion dictates, then you can draw for that. You can draw a dog, an animal, a snake, a person, whatever, right? So that is the Rupakaya. Oh yeah. So this is a very important step. Yeah. Now we covered that one. So to conclude, there is a one line from the book, from the scripture, the Dharma practice that spontaneously liberates habitual clinging. So here it says this: bringing benefit to oneself and others by emanating and reabsorbing light, one is cleansed of conceptual obscurations. Yeah. Yeah. So here, okay, so this line, when it says bringing benefit to oneself, it does not mean anything selfish. Bringing benefit to yourself means becoming a Buddha yourself on your own. And that is also, so it's synonymous with becoming a Buddha, and it is also synonymous with attaining the Dharmakaya, the truth body, and also benefiting others. So in this line, there's benefiting oneself and others. So benefiting other does not mean like just ordinary kind of benefit, like giving tea or things like that. But benefiting other here means alleviating their suffering as a Buddha. So here, when it says benefit others, it means you have to benefit yourself first and then benefit others after that. So alleviate your own suffering, eliminate your own suffering, remove your own suffering, and then remove the suffering of others. So that is benefit yourself and benefit others. This is what it means. It's like the flight announcements they make in flight. So fasten your own seatbelt first, and then fasten others' seatbelt. Yeah. Anyway, so the line, the text, the quotation, the citation here, it says it cleanses our conceptual obscuration. So the four obscuration, the karmic obscuration, negative emotion, afflictive obscuration, conceptual obscuration, and the habitual obscuration. Out of the four, this actually purifies the third, conceptual obscurations.
Yeah.
This process. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now we do the conclusion. Okay, this is a conclusion of this practice. So, so you recite the mantra as long as you want, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever, how long you're going to practice. You recite the mantra. You can actually recite Om Vajrasattva Hum or Om Vajrasattva Samaya, the whole 100 syllable, whatever you wish to, you just do that. And when when you want to conclude the session, then you you stop the mantra recitation, and then you visualize that the whole universe. So you have visualized offering to the Buddhas, offering the light to the Buddha, and offering light, giving the light to the sentient beings, right? And the sentient beings turn into the Vajrasattva of the 5 Buddha family. And then the whole universe is also turned into the Buddha field of manifest joy. So now what happens is, as you conclude, the manifest joy, the universe, which is now turned into the manifest joy, slowly dissolve. The universe itself dissolve into the beings of the 5 the 5 Buddha families. So all the sentient beings have turned into the 5 colors of Vajrasattva, right? which actually represents the five Buddha family. So those five beings, the five types of beings, or all the sentient beings, the universe dissolve into the five beings first. Oh yeah. The sentient beings, the universe dissolve into sentient beings, and the sentient beings dissolve into melt into light, and then dissolves into you, and you also melt and dissolves into light. Then now you also dissolve from the outer part of the body and to the inner part of the body. Like for example, when we blow into the glass, when we blow into a mirror, there will be some I don't know what you call that thing. When you blow into the wind or the mirror, there will be some marks, and then it will slowly, the breath, right? And then it will slowly dissolve into the center, right? From the edge to the center. So like that, your body, from, let's say, from the head and the toe to slowly dissolve to the heart, like that. So you dissolve to the heart, and the heart dissolves into a light, and it dissolves into the letter Om.
Om. Yeah.
Om. Now Om to the Vajra on the left, Vajra to the Sa on the back, the Sa to the Twa on the right, and the Twa dissolves to the Hung, the bottom of the Hung.
Yeah. Could you please say it again, Rinpoche?
So Om goes to the Om dissolve into the on the Om Vajrasattva Hung, right?
Yeah.
Like this, right? So Om goes to dissolve. Om dissolve into Vajra. Vajra dissolve into Sa. Sa dissolve into Twa.
Yeah.
Twa dissolves to the bottom of Hung. Yeah. So now please go. You can take a look at the picture of the that was just shared, or the Om Vajrasattva Hung. So on that picture there is a, I don't know whether we shared this one. The picture of a Hung. Did we share it or not? So it's like this. I thought we shared it last time, but anyway. So so basically, if you don't have it, it's okay. So basically, from the bottom, so there is actually 4 or 5 different letters within the Hung. Okay, so Hung is not just one letter. Actually, the Hung is made out of different characters. So from the bottom to the top, it dissolves into one another, and then it goes all the way up to the last character, or the topmost character, known as the nada.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 characters there, right? So I think the picture is already in there. So anyway, from one character to the next, to the upper one, so it dissolves into one another, and then the nada disappears. So if you reflect on this, if you think on this carefully, we have visualized the whole universe. So whole universe is like massive, right? There is a lot of things happening in the universe: people, situations, wars, unrest, love, joy. So many things happening in the world, the whole universe. That's such a big thing. And the universe dissolve into the beings. The beings dissolve into the into you, and you dissolve into light, and you dissolve into the 5 letters, the 5 syllable of the Vajrasattva. The 5 syllable dissolve into the last one, which is the Hung. The Hung dissolve from the bottom to the top slowly, and now the Hung dissolve into the end. In the end, the Hung dissolve into the nada, which is like a small tick. So the nada, and the nada now disappears. So you can now imagine the whole universe just disappearing, right? If you follow it carefully. This is a very skillful, very clever method of bringing us closer to the understanding of emptiness. If we are told to think of emptiness, of course, emptiness does not mean empty of things. It means empty of concept, right? But if you are told to visualize an empty house, yeah, if you are told to visualize an empty house, it will be quite difficult, because immediately you will visualize a house that has, even if you say an empty house, it would have a light bulb or some walls, some floor, something will be there. So instead of saying, think of an empty house, this practice, okay, in general, a tantric practice in general tells you to visualize a house. Visualize a house. Now check the walls of the house. Check out the walls of the house. Check out the walls of the house. Check out the floor of the house. Check out the bed inside the house. Check out the windows of the house. Check out the table. Check out the kitchen. Check out the bathroom. Check out the bedroom. Check out the roof, one by one. Yeah. Then it would be easier for you to imagine an empty house.
Yeah.
Actually, if you keep taking out the wall, the kitchen, and everything, then of course the house itself disappears. You can see that when you take out all the components of the house, then the house itself disappears. Then the concept of the house also disappears. The house is just an example. So the concept of universe, the concept of war, the concept of different situation that you have, whatever that concept, you can also dismantle them like this, one by one. So when you are free of the concept of that particular thing, then you are free from that thing. Yeah. So now come back to the universe, the practice of the universe dissolving into the beings, dissolving into you, dissolving into the letters, dissolving into the hung, and then dissolving into the nada, and then disappearing. Everything just disappear. So so now you see the significance of tantric practice. So it's so simple, like step by step, but so impressive in result. But okay, so this state we will try to remain as much as we can, but usually out of habitual tendencies, we will fill that house with window, with doors, with kitchen, with bed, with everything, and then it will start to come up, right? Because of our habitual tendency. So our concepts will start filling this house with everything slowly and slowly. Yeah. So in this particular practice, slowly and slowly, the beings will start to come up. You will have your conceptual thoughts starting rising. So when that happens, then the sentient beings will again start to come up. And when this is called rising or arise, we call that. Okay. So when the sentient beings rise, when they come back, then think of them rising as Vajrasattva once again in the field of in the merit field of the in the Buddha field of the manifest of joy. Then there's a line that you recite. It goes like, by the merit of this practice, may I quickly attain the level of Vajrasattva, and then help benefit countless sentient beings, and so dedicate it to the Buddha field, like that.
Yeah.
And then you can say any other concluding prayers after that.
Yeah.
And then it says very clearly that when you do the practice, you should not be distracted. So distraction here does not just mean the mental distraction, but physically and verbally, okay? There's one quotation from the Tantra, the Tantric Sutra. Reciting without concentration is like soaking a rock in the depths of the sea. Even for a whole kalpa, it will bring no result. So basically, rock has, even though the rock, if you immerse a rock in the water, it will not be wet. It will always be dry. So like that, without concentration, there will be no result. Oh yeah. So one of the important thing, so about distraction, I will tell is that, so distraction, verbal distraction, physical distraction, mental distraction, right? Mental distraction means you're doing the Vajrasattva practice, supposedly, but your mind is thinking about, ordinary things, mental distraction. Verbal distraction is while reciting the mantra, you engage in ordinary conversation. Then the bodily, you engage, you're supposedly reciting the mantra, but instead of using the mala, you use your hand to do some other thing like household chores, like that. Yeah. And especially when you okay, so when you are reciting the mantra, you You don't engage in any ordinary activity, such like, for example, like eating or drinking. You don't drink water or anything. Yeah, but I need to differentiate between two things. Okay, this one we are talking about the session. So when you are in a session like this, like a Vajrasattva session or medicine Buddha session, whatever session you are going through, during the session you cannot be distracted. You cannot do ordinary activities like drinking, driving, household chores, speaking, anything like that. That is during the session. But you still engage in Dharma practice even when you are off season or off session. Like for example, when you are driving somewhere, when you are taking the bus or going in the plane, like what you are doing some ordinary things, but let's say you're physically somewhere, but then mentally and verbally you are free. So instead of just singing a song or muttering something, saying something negative about someone else or thinking something negative, you just visualize the Buddha's image. You recite the mantra or Mani Padme Hum, whatever, while you are driving. So this is like off session. So that way you can actually drink, you can drive, you can do all sort of things, even when you are reciting the mantra. So this is off session. Yeah, off session you don't need the rosary. Yeah, but during the session you will need the rosary and count the rosary and keep the rosary clean. And once you are done with the recitation, then blow on the rosary and always keep the rosary clean. And if the rosary, or in general, if the Dharma book or scriptures fall on the ground, rosary, Dharma book, Buddha's picture, whatever falls down on the ground, put it on your head, like ask for forgiveness. So last, it says here that when you have gold or silver, when you mix the gold or silver with any other metal, then it's called impure. No matter how little percentage there is, it's called impure. So just like that, the great master of Odhiyana, basically it means Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche says, a month's recitation with no other speech is better than a year of defiled recitation. So basically he was saying no other speech, it means keeping silence. So like retreat, silence retreat. Silence retreat is better than defiled recitation retreat. Yeah, thank you. We'll conclude the class. And if you have questions, please ask. Yeah. Have some water, Mr. Hong.
Yeah, I have some water now. Thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Okay, so non-skillful. Okay, there's no question right now. So will we wait for the question? Next question. Someone asked me on my page in Facebook. It's a student from our session, but she asked a question earlier. So maybe I will just put it here, then she can listen later. She was asking about the different colors, the importance of the colors of the different letters and this and that. So how important, actually she asked the question last week as well, and how important it is, and especially because people come from different background, like Western background, Eastern background, Indian, Tibetan, like that. And to each different people, there is a different culture, different color has different meaning. And so therefore, she's wondering whether it's that much important to visualize, to have the correct, the colors. The colors are that important or not? So that was the question. Yeah. Overall, in general, in Dharma practice, color is not important, form is not important, shape is not important, recitation of mantra is not important, the form of the structure of your body, how you stand, how you sit, how you lie down, not important. The most important is, of course, the heart, to change of the heart, transformation of our heart from the negative to the positive. That is the most important thing in general.
Yeah.
Just like that, in the world, you need food to survive, to eat. You need to eat food to survive. But what kind of food doesn't matter, whether it's Italian food, whether Vietnamese food, Tibetan food, Chinese food, doesn't matter. Whatever food you eat, it will sustain and help your body. Yeah. But if you are having a Vietnamese food, it should be made accordingly with the authentic Vietnamese ingredients and method. The same goes with Tibetan, the Chinese, the Indian, Italian, whatever. You cannot have spicy curry without spiciness, Tibetan butter tea without butter, milk tea without milk. If you try to have that, if you substitute milk for something else, then it's not the pure, authentic milk tea.
Yeah.
It's not the pure butter tea. It's not the pure, authentic, spicy Indian curry. So yeah, your background may be Italian, your background may be Indian, your background may be Tibetan. But if you want to have Vietnamese food, do take the authentic Vietnamese food. You may come from Indian background, but if you want to try Tibetan food, do it the authentic way. So similarly, in Dhamma practice also, you have all kind of choice to whatever practice you want to do. But if you are following one particular practice, then the instructions, the manuals, the instruction on that particular practice, the colors, the shape, the form, the structure, everything is important. Yeah. Okay, so there's one question come up. Rinpoche, should the beginner practice Vajrasattva meditation or must the beginner practice concentration until the mind is malleable and then one can practice visualization later? So the answer, give a short and simple answer. These are not contradictory. So you can practice both. Actually, when you visualize, when you are doing the visualization of Vajrasattva practice, you're also doing concentration because you have to concentrate. You have to focus on the eyes of the Vajrasattva, the arms of the Vajrasattva, the different mudras, this and that. So you are basically practicing concentration. It may not be single-pointed concentration, but it is part of a concentrated meditation. So it's not contradictory. So if you are asking about single-pointed meditation, then yes, you can do the single-pointed meditation to train your mind. I mean, to strengthen your mind, to solidify your mind, and then you can do the Vajrasattva meditation to purify the negative aspect of your mind. Yeah. So the single-pointed meditation to solidify, a Vajrasattva meditation to purify. Thank you. I think there's no more question. I will conclude here and appreciate everyone for joining. Okay, dedication, please. 夜晚的牛顿的喇嘛三间着月念着浙江马略夜夜萨拉个巴拉说唱着sem着sem bo je ma ye ba na ma ye ju ro ke ba nya ba me ba ra yang kon ne kon do be wa ra sho Boy, my noon, Jomo, sign, when I'm gone, rồi kia rồi cõi bỏ lộ rồi trời bề soi lối xuôi hoài rồi rồi trời bề soi lối xuôi hoài tiền bè nhiều bộ tiền bè bèn la xin nam man do kia quen la chẳng lập sang chế ye nhằm dẫn cho cái tổ trên địa cho đến tâm rồi
được phú phẩm tính kiên cường, chỉ giữ pháp chân thực, Ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn phương. Nguyện cầu Ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh.
Thank you, Miss Yen and Miss Shalin.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche là.
Thank you, Mr. Hong. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Yeah.
Thầy xin cảm ơn tất cả quý vị đạo hữu ạ.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very much.
Cảm ơn Hương nha.
Thank you, Sibosela.
Cảm ơn.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thầy xin chào tất cả quý vị đạo hữu. Bye bye, Rinpoche là.
Thank you,
Bye
Mr.
bye,
Hong.
Sibosela.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche là.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Sibosela.